What is your purpose? The idea of finding your purpose has become increasingly popular, and it's something only the lucky few seem to have a concrete answer to. I wouldn't call anything in here a spoiler, but this will be looking at some manga panels, so it's obviously up to you if you want to watch or not. I never expected Blue Lock to be so full of gems of wisdom, and I certainly didn't expect Chris Prince, of all players, to have one of its greatest lessons. One that not only gave me a sense of direction, but also stopped me falling back into bad habits many times. Prince asked Rio, "What kind of player do you want to be?" To which Rio doesn't have much of an answer, which is unsurprising really because he's only been playing for 6 months or so. However, almost immediately, Prince jumps in with, "Don't think too hard about it. I'm not asking for your opinion." Instead, he says he's asking the ideal Mikage Rio. How would the best striker Rio can imagine answer that question? And this really got me thinking, because when you get asked what do you want to be, like how we all get asked when we're younger, what do you want to be when you grow up? Most of us don't know. And how could we when we haven't really had a chance to experience much yet? However, I bet every single person watching this has quite a clear idea of who they'd like to be. At the very least, certain traits they wish they could embody. Maybe it's confidence, maybe it's disciplined, maybe it's the way you look and talk. Rio has quite a clear idea of this. He wants to be a player who can stand alone with enough skill to be the greatest striker in the world. Specifically, he wants to be good enough to play without someone else, i.e. Nagi. He doesn't just want to be a great footballer, he also wants to be the kind of man who's fine on his own, which obviously came about from how he felt after Nagi left him to join Isagi's team and then didn't pick Rio after they won. But I'm not going to go into that for this video. Prince is super excited about his response. However, when the rest of the Blue Lockers laugh, he suddenly becomes super serious, saying that it's very important to clearly state your ideal. He then proceeds to talk about how no matter how talented someone is, inevitably everyone has moments where they feel down, where they feel directionless and lose their confidence. And before I get onto the main points of the video, as a very quick side rant, this here is why I don't like the whole find your purpose thing. Because often when people say this, they kind of give the impression that one day you'll just find something and everything will be super exciting and happy 100% of the time. And so it can lead you to think, oh well, if I'm not like that, I'm doing something wrong. No one is positive 24/7, including me. You're probably doing a lot better than you think. Anyway, back to Prince, because here's a much better question. In those moments, Prince asks, not himself, but the ideal Chris Prince, how he would act if he would quit. This alone is one of the greatest bits of advice I've ever heard, and to think it came from this fictional meathead. We all lose our way from time to time. However, when we do, in fact, especially when we do, we have this clear vision of who we'd like to be. And something about asking yourself, what would the ideal version of me do? And listening to the answer makes it really easy to do. Especially as sometimes the answer is really simple. So, for example, if you're thinking about skipping the gym because you're too tired or just not feeling it, I bet that's not what the ideal version of you would do. So, as soon as you think that, you won't want to sit there for much longer. Trust me. And not only will this likely lead you to what you want to do, I also think it's actually far more important than that, because realistically, no matter what job or path you take, there's going to be things you like and don't like about it. However, when you don't like yourself, when you feel like you're living a way that just isn't in line with the ideals you have for yourself, everything will feel miserable. Everything. Likewise, when you're genuinely happy with who you are, when you feel like the protagonist of your own life, it's pretty damn exciting. The last point I want to make on this is, it's completely fine to get your ideas from looking at someone else. In fact, it's a brilliant way to do it, because sometimes you'll just see someone, often fictional, and think, I wish I was like that guy, right? And that's a really easy way to figure out what your ideals are. However, you should generally focus on the actions that person would take. So, for example, if you see someone who clearly works out, instead of thinking how you'd like to look like that, what you should be focusing on is being the kind of person that will consistently go to the gym. It just keeps things very clear and keeps it to things you can immediately act on. Prince has plenty of other advice, which I talk about in this video here. If you read the manga, I highly recommend checking it out. If this helped you and you want to drop a sub, that'd be great. Either way, cheers for watching and have a great day.